says we're going live, and we're live. Hello, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as J-Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 350.
I felt like I was leaning back too far. Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that far along.
If we had stayed with like our weekly clip, that would be 7 years at 50 episodes a year.
Okay.
But we didn't.
No, we didn't.
There were some sparse years in there.
Yeah, those are the middling years. That's when the kids they're not self-sufficient, and they're also not
we hadn't figured out this either, right?
That's true.
Again, it would be nice if we were on the same couch, but also germs and logistics. So
logistics, yeah. Late in our lives right now, it's logistics.
This is it, man. This is it.
Yep.
So,
but yeah, I'm excited for January to be over. Is that sad to say? Like it's, somebody said January is the Monday of the year, and that's how I'm feeling right now.
Feel sad for those of us that celebrate our birthdays in January.
I have two of those in my household. We didn't get to go anywhere. We didn't get to do anything. It was negative a gajillion yesterday, and I was doing my temperature scarf things, and yeah, it's been below zero a lot this month.
I still get outside. I've got the balaclava that I rock. I have my cat one that's a little if it's a little warmer, and then like I have one that's got like neoprene here, and like my eyes just poke out just a little bit. But I'm still getting out. But yeah, I was sharing with Amy. I don't know if it's the weather like so wildly changing. So like today there's a 20-degree swing. It's still below zero, but it's or below freezing, sorry, but it's a 20-degree string. And I don't know if it's congestion or what, but like in the evenings, I'm just like, I just want to sleep because my head hurts. Like nothing helps. Caffeine doesn't help. Caffeine normally helps. Ibuprofen doesn't help. Nothing's been helping. So I'm going to blame it on the weather.
I've been blaming it on my work at home setup. I bought a really pretty chair, and I think it is beautiful, but I didn't buy it thinking that I would be sitting at it again because I had gone back to work and then returned home again. And so I should have bought a more ergonomic chair, I think. Mm-hmm. And I'm also sitting at a less ergonomic desk because my husband took over the nice ergonomic desk because he was sitting at a not ergonomic desk when I was at home before. Mm-hmm. So it's his turn to get the nice desk. But sitting here for this month, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I should invest on that we have two of them in the house instead of just one. Yeah. But yeah, all that to say that it's really cold and we're getting headaches, and
it could be like we're running a humidifier, right? So it could be kind of, I don't know, humidity related. Mm-hmm. So sorry, my phone is blowing up. I must be getting a notification from something. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, I can appreciate that you're ready for January to be over. That said, I did have some knitting projects that really made me happy this year so far and this month, which is the topic of this episode, is the FOs. Quick administrati that we've got 2 KALs currently going on, the self-striping. So get your January entries in. And a reminder that you can only have the one thus far. Once February hits, you can have the two. You can have two. And we'll be drawing 4 prizes next week for that. And then we also have the Trough KAL. And along with that, we're watching Babe on Friday, which is very fun. I pulled up Babe to find a picture of the box and or the movie poster. And I hadn't realized that it was all recorded in Australia.
Okay.
So
I remember it being foreign, but I didn't remember Australia. So
yeah, I think in my mind it was maybe New Zealand, which would have been similar, right? In a similar part of the world, but yeah, somewhere where there was lots of sheep, and they could probably, you know, film it for a little less scratch, I guess, than to other places where they don't have wide open fields to have that picturesque scene, but haven't seen it in so long, like probably since the children were very, very young. So super excited about that. And then our first speaker, our February speaker, our next speaker, we've had a speaker this year already. Sorry, when I said first, I was like, I meant February, is Jessie Ostermiller, and she's going to talk about color choices. So just a reminder there, I've got all of those events loaded up in Discord. So if you want to get a reminder on your phone, if you've got the app, it'll ding at you and tell you. So super excited about both of those. Are we ready for FOs?
Well, I was just going to do a small one for our Zombie Apocalypse folks.
Okay, cool.
We have announced our February KL, and the theme is Tunnel of Love. So knitting things in pairs will get you bonuses. So if it is something that you knit two of the same thing, right? A pair of socks, a pair of mittens, a pair of mitts, leg warmers, just things in pairs, and it's designed to be in pairs, we will count. Singles can ride the ride. So if you only get one of something done, you can submit it for points. But it has to be something that's intended to be knit in pairs. And then what was I going to say? Oh, all things started from January 1st till the end of February will count. So if you're currently knitting socks and you're like, oh, I'm going to try to get them done for January, you can still do that, but they will count for February if you have something in pairs that's on the needles and you want to use it in February. So anything that gets finished, it still has to be started this year. So my something that I'm going to do is that I started a pair of socks before 2022, but I only have one of them done. So if I start the second one this year, I can count it in the singles. So, and yeah, that's it. We're wrapping up the January, posting a picture of the non-yarny vendor items or vendor items that are not yarny into with your FO, gets you that point. Megan has added some of that magic to the dashboard as well, so you can kind of see where your team is at and what you might need to furiously do this month to get the averages up and get the bonuses scored. So
data nerd here.
Yeah. I didn't even know it was out there. I brought it up this morning and went, well, that's fun. So
if I want to see it, I generally try to put it out there for folks. So yeah, no, that's great. I also wanted to share with you, we had a good giggle and learned a little something in the Wednesday night VKNs, which there's a free one tonight. So if you go out to StockinetteZombies, currently the first post there is the information to connect tonight. So share that with everybody and anyone. If you are on our distribution list, you got emails about it already. So that's good, or as ZKNer, you get the weekly email. Anyway, all that to say, we were chatting last week about pairs, and somebody was like, well, what if you wanted to knit a pair of pants? And so he was like, yeah, that's really weird. Why are they a pair of pants? And so we went out and Googled it. I didn't even go into like incognito mode. I was just like, why are they called pair of pants? It was because they used to be like, you would knit them in pairs or sew them in pairs, and then you would tie them together. So they were literally a pair of pants.
Okay. So
like you would tie it around your waist, one side, one leg, and then you would tie the other one on, and then that was how you had a pair of pants.
Interesting.
I don't know if anybody's gonna try to knit a pair of pants in that vein, right?
Kind of like a
where you
pair of
tie it
scissors
on.
with two blades that are connected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't know.
Well,
English
FOs,
language. Fun with the English language.
well, for FOs, I don't have very many. You've already seen the hat because I shared it last time.
The
when we were
pattern is
talking
now
about
out, though.
age. Yes, but you can get the pattern. So we have this lovely hat.
Have the top.
And it's brioche. And this yarn is Nerd Girl and Cascade Heritage. Sock weight. And then the other thing that I finished that you might not have seen is that I finished my Simple Editions pullover.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a crop. It's very crop. Like I knitted the same that I would normally do crops in, but I didn't factor into the count that this crop doesn't cinch in. Yeah. And so it feels very crop. I probably will only wear it over dresses, and I think like flowier dresses. I'm not sure when else I'll wear it. But you know, that's a good spring top edition, I think. So, you know, it's not quite warm enough to wear the tank dress, but you can throw on your Simple Edition. I made mine with long sleeves, and then you can, yeah.
So did you knit the sleeves and then try to make the body as long as you possibly could, or what was the order? Did you think that you had a good length and then you went on to the sleeves?
It's a bottom up.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I knit the recommended amount, and there is some increases that happen under the arms.
Got it.
And so I just should have knit a couple, like 1 to 2 more inches on it, I think is what I would, you know, and I think I had enough yarn. So I'm going to wait for spring, and if I need to make adjustments to it after wearing it a bit, I will. But yeah, trying it on to my winter wardrobe, I don't know, it just wasn't speaking to me. So I think I'm going to definitely make this a spring.
Definitely. So that's the Suburban Stitcher spring collection last year, right?
Yeah.
Very springy.
So yep, Lady Bird is this colorway. And you know, again, our camera's playing with this. This is just lighter purples. There's no brown in here. I don't, you know.
It likes to turn things brown because I think it's trying to play off of the green, and we know how it loves to play with the green.
Yes, like your scummy green is like popping off of the.
Unlike an alien over here.
Yeah. Anyway, so
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Simple Edition. I just got that done. I've been working really hard on my my kiddo's sweater, the one with the raven skulls on it. So I haven't really finished anything else. Been working on that one, and socks as my I don't have to think version.
Yeah, I've got quite a few design things that are like partially finished / not ready for camera. Specifically, I've really enjoyed knitting tubes, but doing so with my with the little 9-inch circs. So
sorry, I hate those.
So again, I'm trying to keep the neural pathways open and, you know, change my perspective. I would never be able to knit plain stockinette socks if I wasn't just kind of mindlessly going around and around. Also, I really use this pinky when I'm here. I'll hold up needles, right? Like I use the full length of the needle, and you can't do that when you've got those little 9-inch circs. I also ordered a pair of 8-inch circulars. I can't remember who that was through, to see like maybe if I liked it a little better or whatever, if it worked better with a smaller circumference sock. I'll admit I ordered it through Amazon because that's where I could find it, and it showed up and there was just the packaging. Oh, there was no needle in it. I don't know if the little needle like worked its way out of the packaging and then went on a little vacation. This is become very difficult to like, how do you even return this? Like, it's not damaged, it's not whatever, it's just not here. So anyway, all that to say, I have been enjoying that. I have the afterthought OMG heel that I am perfecting. Want to make sure that it's wide enough, want to make sure that it's tall enough, and I'm using all of the stitches. Yeah. And yeah, spoiler alert. Well, I'm going to do the heel on, not little needles.
I know, but I just, like, the one time I tried it, I was so just like, nope.
I'll tell you what Yarn Harlot told me when I was trying to learn how to be a picker versus a thrower. If you don't get it in the first 10 minutes, I would just give up, baby.
No, it's a matter of my hands hurt. So yeah. Like I would really have
definitely had to. So I did like 5 minutes, and then I did like 10 minutes. And now I think I'm to a stage where I could probably do longer than 30 minutes, but I've like worked my way up to 30 minutes. And then, yeah, I can't use my pinkies, and I'm, they're not like up, but they're, they're just kind of hanging out. They're like, I am not being used. Anyway, all that to say, it's not an FO. I did have some leftovers from my trough, which you'll see in just a second, and knit yet another one of these hats with some leftover Sun Valley fiber that I have. So I don't remember the count, but this is quite a lot of them. They just happen when I need to scratch a color work itch and have leftovers and want to get that in place. So have a hat there. It was going to be a hat. This is some knit picks. I can't even remember what their base is. Oh, look at how the color changes, bright red. And then some Dream in Color Jilly, so a single ply. And this was, I played around a lot with gauge and just was like, okay, I have a small head, but I also don't think this would fit on husband's huge head either. So this is the this way and that ... cowl, which I think is also another really fun addition. Yeah. So I also noticed that I didn't, well, maybe I realized while I was doing it and I was okay with it, mine zigzag. So with the garter, on the second row of garter, I always slip the first stitch so that you don't get that jog between the two. And so then that offset for the next repeat. So like my reds are lining up with my blues. And alternating, where yours are in line.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my jog.
Yeah, I can't find my jog because if you split that second row, you don't really see a jog. I can see where I wove in my end, so that would be where the jog would possibly be. But yeah, you can't really see it. The jog in the garter, right? So, yep. Anyway, all that to say, I went off book.
Barely.
It's super smushy. I've also noticed in my, like, okay, I was going to do crown decreases and followed the pattern. You don't start off with the garter row, but I ended with the garter. It'll keep somebody's neck warm.
Yes.
Regardless, it will keep somebody's neck warm. So that's fun. Definitely recommend that. Go out and check out that pattern. And then my trough. So I finished up my trough with hand spun. This is 716 hand spun, and then Steve and Andy Leading Men Fiber Arts spotlight base that I had left over from when I was making my mom's blanket. I had a whole cake of it left, so I had overestimated. And it's, yeah, lots of really fun styling options, with the neck here. You can wear it like this, or you can kind of wear it to the side where you've got a long point going there. Or I guess you could put the long part in the back and just kind of have, I was going to use 2 skeins of Very Precious hand spun, but I kind of wanted this color to pop more, and the gray seems like a nice little background color. In retrospect, it may have been fun to go 2 super fun colors, but that didn't have any overlap, so that you really see that contrast. just a lot of gray here, which isn't a bad thing. I think it does make the hand spun pop. But yeah, really enjoyed knitting this. All of the stockinette portions it's all in stockinette, like there's no purling, right? So all of the garter that you see is done through very clever construction.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, my trough is probably 3 down, so gonna get there. But I'm knitting with schlub for the first time, so I think that's what's kind of making me not pick it up and just want to zoom on it, because I feel like I do more fiddling with the schlub. Maybe I need to just get over that. But then I also signed up to do one of Heather's test knits. So I also got the DK weight version of it recently, and I'm like, ooh.
yeah.
So I'm excited for that one, because I found I'm gonna use some mohair in the stockinette portion of it, held with a another fingering weight to get to that DK. I think it's gonna be great.
No, this portion right here is definitely my favorite part. These are all really component colors that I super love, but that them singing right there are singing to me. So super fun, super great way to use up your precious hand spun and make sure that it's getting used.
Yeah, and definitely fun for kind of those singles, where you didn't know quite what to do with them, but if they coordinate well enough, or super contrast too, but I think that the contrast between the textures could make them really interesting in one project. Yeah.
Valerie says she likes the look of Bub, but she doesn't want to knit with it again. I think I am self-aware enough that I've not even attempted it, but maybe it'll be one of my little January try something new. One year.
Well, yeah, I actually, I don't think I overbought schlub. I've only got 3 skeins, I think, or maybe 4. It's in the 3 to 4 range, and one of them I just put on the needles. So I think it's fine. I'm not. It's just I get futzy with like, a big schlub ended up in this leg, or I need to get over myself.
I think I would do the same thing. I notoriously de-tweed my tweeds, right? So
there's no de-tweeding this.
De-slubbing. There's no de-slubbing.
Very schlubby, and it's all in there. No, I do like the end effect. It does change my perception of the colorway though, like a little bit too. Yeah. I'll take a picture, or maybe I already posted a picture of it. The color.
I constantly surprise myself. So I might love, I'm wearing this very mohair sweater, right? And at one point I was like, there's no way that I would knit with mohair. And now I love it. So we can surprise ourselves. We can learn and grow. So this is my last cast on of 2021. And I worked on it monogamously into 2022. So this is my Ola's Tundra, and I call it my Ravelry project name is Ooh La La, because this is that Malabrigo Finito, and it is I can't even tell you how soft it is. It is so soft, and I can report back on it has not been worn. So Peg, my dress form, has been wearing it. But I just really love the graphicness of it. It did, so I don't know about anybody else, but when I'm knitting color work, sometimes it takes me a while to really feel like, it's doing what it's supposed to do, which is why for a long time I couldn't do speckles in color work, because it obscured what the overall look was supposed to be. This is every other row is just the main color straight knit. So it's a nice little break between color work if you're looking for something that has a color work look, but you need a break. You need that break row. But it did take a while for it to form, right? So I had many moments where I was like, is this doing what I want it to do? Do I have enough contrast? And then, yeah, when you stand back, you're like, oh my gosh, how did you not think that there was enough contrast, right? But
Yeah.
it just took a little, twice as many rows to get to the point where I'm normally okay with the color work because
Yeah.
of that rest row. And she is currently having, so #enable you, she's currently having a 30% off sale. So if you want to go check out her patterns, she's got a lot of really pretty ones, and I've knit quite a few. She has ones that are just the yoke, and then she's got some really pretty ones like this one and the night book, where it's all over color work. So
yeah, the thing I learned about myself recently in the dead of night pattern is that anything with a large quantity of stitches in between in color work, I am terrible at that.
Okay, so the wrapping.
Yeah, well, I mean, getting the right tension when you have to wrap for like 12 or more stitches, because there's a big block where it's just this little star thing that before you start the main, and it's just this little star thing, and I got through all of that, and I didn't want to rip back, but there were dots that were missing. Like the tension just pulled them right out. Like,
yeah,
I stink at this.
Yeah. In general, color work where there's just a single speck of color, that can be really tricky, right? Like I like it when a stitch has a buddy, because even if it's too tight, at least you see the buddy, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's that it was a star, or 4 dots that were kind of starred at the top, or maybe 5, because there's 4 and then a center one. But they're all separated from each other, right? And I had some that just, like, in the grand scheme of thing, you're looking at it and you're going, oh, there's one that's missing, and there's one that's missing, there's one.
Yeah, I think that this one I did, it does pretty good. You can kind of see there too, like there's streaks of blue and green, and then there's some gray, right? So kind of a highly variegated, kind of typical Malabrigo. And then, so the modifications, sorry, I'm just keep on admiring it on screen, because I'm like, look at that. The modifications I made, she had a much deeper arm pull. So I separated for sleeve much sooner than the pattern was written. And then I just had to remember that I had some of the body repeat that needed to be done on the sleeves, which thankfully worked out for the stitch count number. Sometimes that doesn't work, so you need to be careful of that if you separate for sleeves, not where, like if it had been at a very clear cut, like where the pattern was going to change drastically on the sleeve, your multiple might not line up. Anyway, all that to say, that was the modification I made. The sleeves ended up being, I didn't get to fit as much of the motif in, because some of that upper body was down on the sleeve. And nice and long. It's going to be a nice warm one for sure. Color work sweaters and fingering are one of my favorite, because otherwise I think I would just sweat with much thicker ones. And the doubled up. And last,
I was just going to say, I'm a little worried about that with my one that I'm giving to my kiddo. It's DK.
What weight is that?
Huh?
What weight is it?
It's DK. Well, sport to DK.
Okay. Yeah. I'm knitting a Jen Steinglass that's written for DK / worsted right now, and I'm doing it in sport. In that, I'm like, I want it to be just a little. But speaking of big, smushy, warm, I did do my first Tunisian crochet garment, which flew off of the needle. I did end up needing that upper color, which I think the gray looks very purposeful.
It flew off the hook.
What?
You said needles.
Oh yeah. No, and it does look knitted, right? So when you look at it, you're like, oh, you knit that. And I think when you look here, you can see kind of those the return pass there on the back, but got to learn all kinds of new things. Again, in doing this, I had not increased yet. I had not done any decreases like you needed to do for the neckline here. and I'd not switched colors. I'd not done any Tunisian pearls, which I got to do on the hems here. It was really kind of fun. It was like sweater loading. I think maybe I mentioned that in our whips episode. Like I did the front panel and the back panel and the sleeves, kind of trying to do all of the most I could with the yarn. So the only thing I probably would have done different, and I'll tattle on myself here, like did not save any extra to seam it up. Oh, so you get you can see my gray
contrast. Yeah, okay, yeah. I see.
I had and it's fine, right? It's fine, but it's like the biggest, smushiest sweatshirt. I was wearing it, and Jeremy was like, I think I might wear something like that. That looks really nice. And I was like, okay. I don't know that I'm Tunisian crocheting you a sweater like this, but super warm, super smushy, and I conquered Tunisian crochet gauge enough to be able to make myself a garment that fits. So, yay! And this is like the brown sheep. These both are leftovers from Silver Lining, from Sun Valley Fiber, and this is a Jill Draper made stuff from my oh my goodness, I'm like, fall come back now, and Snow Thank You.
Snow Thank You.
Thank You sweater. So yes, very fun. Highly recommend this pattern. It was a lot of fun. If you're interested in a Tunisian crochet, make sure that you've conquered gauge.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to tackle another crochet garment anytime soon, but I am ready to play with crochet again. So I might have to go seeking some patterns. Or I could work on my blanket. I have that blanket that I've been working on that's just a scrappy blanket, but yeah, exciting. I've seen a lot of people making like blankets that have kind of flower looking. So I thought that might be fun. It's the flower looking ones, not the daisies where it's very loopy, but very much crocheted, but the way that it's crocheted, it takes on more of a floral look. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of the expanding petal.
Yeah.
Yep. I get that. Sorry, and I forgot to mention that is the Mellow Tunic by Tony Lipsby, who came and spoke with us last January about Tunisian crochet, and I made that, and then now I'm eventually getting to this, and I'm building up confidence to try other things. So
cool. Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff that is just kind of hanging out and waiting for that. So,
yeah, she's got a crochet along going on, much like she did last year around this time, right? That we kind of coordinated our try something new with her CAL, her crochet along. So I guess I could have waited, but it was just sitting there like serendipitously being like, you have said that I will be a Mellow Tunic. Why have you not made me? Talking to me. So
yeah. No, very nice. I'm impressed because I'm not ready to try it again.
Well, you were doing normal crochet too, right? Not Tunisian crochet. Yeah.
Yeah, I bit on a little bit more than I could chew, kind of thing. Like I hadn't done a regular crochet, just normal, trying to get gauge. And then I just went all in on something, and I went, ooh, and honestly, it fit. It was just that the seaming of it, when it got to around here, and it was very tight, so things stretched more, and I think it was supposed to, gauge
is important. Yeah, Tony commented on my little 9-inch circular post that she's trying 9-inch circulars for the first time too, so solidarity.
Yeah. So you got that for try something new, and we might add schlub. Or we could save that for 2023.
I think that's the Tunisian crochet garment was a good one. The 9-inch circulars was a good one. I felt like there was something else. Oh, I'm going to do my first true afterthought heel. So Gonna pick up the stitches and snip the knit one rather than putting in a in the line I've always done that, right? Like I know where the heel's gonna go because I'm doing I'm knitting them toe up, and never done the snip. So that'll be my last January.
I've done
try
the
some
snip.
things.
It's not too bad. You know, you put in the hooks before you do it, right? Or the needle before you do it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty good at picking up stitches even if I did it incorrectly, right?
Right.
So I'm not as concerned about it as I probably should be. So
watch,
anyway,
catastrophic will happen. Anyway,
yeah, maybe we'll see some of you guys tonight. And thanks for chatting with us today.
Yep. Bye.
Bye, Ufta. And we're ended.